Hello, guys. Let me know if my sound is good. According to Hiawatha, it's going in and out. Please just let me know if the sound is okay or not before sharing my next video material. Hello, Carol. How are you? Happy to have you here. Of course, Hiawatha. How are you? Mar. How are you, Mar? What's up? Hope you're doing well. Bre Nova. Sistru, how are you, Sistru? Who is here? Debbie, how are you, Debbie? Happy to have you here. Michelle is here. So, I don't know, guys. I hope my sound is okay. Okay. According to Spin Steer, the sound is good. So, tonight is not going to be too long. We're going to talk about the Hulu documentary, very quick, let's say. We are going to talk about the interview that was made by ABC to Andrew Baldwin this week. Very interesting. And I'm going to present also a video that was made by the Unsolved. It was kind of annoying, but I have something to say about that, so that's why I want to present that video. Remember that tomorrow we're gonna have spooky sokoke and low light recovery here in the channel. It's gonna be a great live tomorrow. As you know, Spooky was in the Hulu documentary, so he's gonna tell us a lot of stuff that was behind the scenes in that documentary. So it's gonna be really, really cool. So I'm waiting for you tomorrow, guys. How are you, Shane? Happy to have you here. Guys, I think Shane is gonna create his own channel. That's gonna be awesome. I really like Shane, even if we disagree in a lot of our views. But I want to have Shane someday here to discuss the case. I really like Shane. So I hope your channel is going to be, I don't know, live soon, let's say. Don't dox me. How are you? Don't dox me. Happy to have you here. Luis Cuevas in the house. So thank you guys for being here tonight. So I'm going to start with the Hulu documentary. Just a quick introduction here before telling you my thoughts.
Did some ritualistic activity.
Was this a satanic type killing?
A symbol on the tree done in the victim's blood.
The person that did this to these girls is pure evil.
This
To these girls is pure evil.
this
Believe that because I
So that was just to say that Spooky is gonna be here tomorrow with us, and we're gonna be with Joshua, Low Lighter Recovery also. So it's gonna be the three of us. And as I told you guys, she's gonna tell us about a lot of behind the scenes situations, let's say. So it's gonna be cool tomorrow, guys. I'm looking forward for that live tomorrow. So we're waiting for you to be here with us. Just a quick thought. I'm not gonna be talking too much about the Hulu documentary. The only thing that I think it was kind of balanced, let's say, but I'm still not satisfied with the way the Keegan Klein angle was treated in that documentary. Every time that we want to hear something about Keegan Klein, nobody wants to talk about it. It was a couple of seconds in that documentary about Keegan Klein. They didn't talk anything about him. It was just they passed so fast. And to me, as you know, Keegan Klein is one of the main factors, one of the main elements, one of the main actors here in this case. I was expecting more time about Keegan Klein in that documentary. It was full Odinism again. A lot of Odinism, a little bit of Ron Logan, and almost nothing about Keegan Klein. That bothers me a lot. A lot. I'm just pissed. Sorry for that. I had to vent, but yeah, I was not very satisfied about the documentary. I think the documentary is important because it's gonna give a lot of attention out there in the international scenario. Let's say that's gonna be like a good thing for the potential appealing of Richard Allen, because in some way my feeling is that the documentary was made to push the appealing process, which is good. I think that's important. We need an appealing process. We need that appealing process to have some answers here. But I was expecting more about the Keegan Klein angle. It was cool to see Kathy Allen in that documentary. I think that's important. But again, it was like more of the same, nothing new. I know that some of you guys, you agree with the Odinism angle, let's say. To me, that's a bad strategy, even if that's the actual situation here. If that was the actual play, nobody's gonna buy that. And in my opinion, Andrew Baldwin is stubborn, like me. I'm very stubborn, but I'm not gonna push something that no one is gonna buy. You know what I mean? Even if the Odinism theory is right, no one is gonna buy it. There's no juror that is gonna buy that theory, even if that was the truth. You know what I mean? No one is gonna buy that. I don't understand how the defense, they didn't push harder the Keegan Klein angle. That was the way to create a reasonable doubt in this case. And you know, guys, that I despise law enforcement in this case, in this specific case. I despise Jerry Holman. To me, he's like the dirtiest guy ever. He's a bully. I despise that guy. And whatever, I'm being random right now, but to me, it was a mistake that the defense, they didn't push the Keegan Klein's angle since the beginning. To me, the Frank memorandum should be a Frank memorandum about Keegan Klein, not about Odinism. Come on, that was the stupidest strategy ever. And I like Andrew Baldwin a lot, and I respect Andrew Baldwin, but he was just wrong, or wrong, like you joke about Elvis Fields. Anyways, that was the first thing about the Hulu documentary. Tomorrow we are gonna have more information about that documentary with Spooky. So be here with me tomorrow and with the guys in the show. Second topic or second subject tonight. I'm gonna present a couple of clips from the last video that the Unsolved he made about the Hulu documentary. It's just insane how egocentric this guy is. It was a video about, let's say, almost 2 hours, and he was repeating every time, "I'm right. I can't debunk. I can't debunk any theory that is against Richard Allen being guilty." It was just annoying. I don't think the guy's malicious. Of course, he was a former law enforcement guy or law enforcement agent, if we can say that. Maybe he trusts too much law enforcement, but it was really annoying to hear someone saying or telling you that he's right and that he's able to debunk any theory against Richard Allen being guilty. Annoying. But I have to give him one point. When he was talking about Keegan Klein, I agreed with him, and that's why I want to show both sides of the coin here. So let's hear a couple of minutes of Trust Me theme, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to be disrespectful, for real. You know, I try to be respectful with everyone here, but first thing, this guy, he doesn't smile. I don't know what is his problem, and maybe he has a problem in his life, but his face is like a face of tragedy. Life is too short, guys. Smile, please. You guys in the chat, smile a little bit. I never seen this guy smiling. Sorry, something I had to say. So I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this video. You're gonna understand why I wanted to show this angle here. So no more protocol. Let's go with this.
Studied this case almost every single day for the past almost 6 years. So I've seen things from just about every angle you could possibly see them from. So when people come at me and they say, well, you know, you don't know about this, you don't know about that, chances are I know about everything that you're about to bring up to me. And chances are, if you're naming another suspect or somebody else, I can debunk just about everything that you've said. Yes. Don't just come here and be angry. Anybody can do that. Just don't come here and become angry. Okay, they convicted him with a jury of 12 of his peers with evidence. Why do you think it's BS that got him convicted? What do you think about it that was BS? Because chances are you're going to post what you think the BS was, and I'm going to sit here and instantly debunk it. And so are my viewers. You're more than welcome to, and I'll try to treat you fairly. But again, just getting mad, I want to be bigger than that and above that on this channel, and I've tried to. And tell us why you think he's innocent. And again, I'm probably going to debunk whatever it is pretty easily. If they were going to railroad somebody, Logan and Klein were.
Okay. Just to save you the whole streaming that the Unsolved made about the Hulu documentary, 90% of the streaming was the team saying that he's right and he's able to debunk you if you don't think like him. Very egocentric, in my opinion. This is not my style, but I was really annoyed watching that video. But one point I need to give him about this whole process, let's say, is this one. When he's gonna talk about Keegan Klein and the way the defense treated that angle, he's totally right. I have to give him 100 points here. So this is the part or the portion or the section I really agree with him 100%.
Perfect guinea pigs. I agree. And when I interviewed Keegan Klein's jailmate, and that led to the police, in this case, interviewing his jailmate, that's what always baffled me, was like, if you're going to pick somebody to scapegoat, why on the hell wouldn't the defense team like start right with Keegan Klein initially? I'm not a lawyer, but that's where I would have started.
Of
He was
course.
catfishing the girls and talking to them the night before.
Duh.
They found all the CSAM on his device. He's making alleged false confessions claiming to his jailmate that him and his dad were out there after the fact. Just wild stuff that detectives claim that they have no evidence of and think that Klein is just lying. But I mean, there's firsthand information from somebody who was speaking to the girls the night before and trying to catfish them. Yeah, why not start there instead of just making up an Odinism theory and
100%.
some wacky crap? I mean, again, there's only one adult male that anybody, by their own admission, by eyewitnesses, only one person that was ever seen out there on the bridge during that.
Okay, he's right. He's totally right. How can you not go to the Keegan Klein's angle to defend your client? Something's wrong here, guys. Something's fishy. I know that you trust. I don't trust law enforcement at all. Zero in this case. Zero. But when we talk about the Keegan Klein's angle, I don't trust the defense. There's something fishy there. There's something weird. That's the first thing you're gonna use to defend your client. You're gonna use the Keegan Klein's angle. You're not gonna go with sorry, I'm losing my voice. You're not gonna go with the Odinism angle here. That was a total freaking weird mistake. I don't understand that. I don't even think it was a mistake. It was made on purpose. They were avoiding the Keegan Klein's angle for some reason. And every time I see something from the defense, when it's related to Keegan Klein, they pass so fast about that subject that I really don't understand. In the Hulu documentary, it was almost nothing about Keegan Klein. When we hear Andrew Baldwin, and we're gonna play a clip of Andrew Baldwin talking to ABC News about Keegan Klein, and it's always like they passed just like that. They don't want to know anything about Keegan Klein, and I don't understand. Actually, I understand. We know that Rosie, he was the firm of what's the name of Rosie? The other lawyer. I forgot the name. Okay, Andrew Baldwin's associate. He has a firm, and his firm is representing Keegan Klein. So this is a conflict of interest here. And I'm not gonna take any credit for this. That was an information that was given by Sleuth Intuition. I know that a lot of you guys, you are not a fan of Sleuth, but he has good points here. Brad Rossi, thank you, don't dox me. So not using the Keegan Klein's angle bothers me personally. So let's continue with, I think the next clip is gonna be about Andrew Baldwin here.
Time span that was a male. That person is Richard Allen. The eyewitnesses that was.
But
okay, this is Andrew Baldwin talking to ABC News. The interview was great. I really love Baldwin. I respect him. I think he's a really nice guy. But I don't buy everything he says. He's very smart. I don't like law enforcement. I don't like Nick, but I'm not gonna buy everything that Andrew Baldwin is saying because we have to read between lines. And I don't want to be fooled by law enforcement, but I don't want to be fooled by the defense at the same time. You know what I mean? So let's see what is he gonna say about Keegan Klein in this
Richard
in this
Allen
case.
has zero ties to Odinism, zero ties to Viking culture, zero ties to Norse paganism. And that was a real problem for them. See, when they brought Richard Allen in, they thought that they were going to be able to find connective tissue to the crime scene. And they weren't able to do that. They thought at that point in time that there was another guy who's talked about in the documentary named Keegan Klein. Keegan Klein at that time had pointed the finger at his dad, Tony Klein, and said his dad had been involved. And Tony and Richard Allen happened to grow up relatively close to one another. And at one point in time, they worked in a big factory, I think at the same time, but they didn't know each other. But police didn't, I think what happened on October the 13th, when they brought in Richard Allen, is they thought, we're going to find out he's a Norse paganist. That's a possibility. And we're definitely going to find out that he has an affiliation with Keegan Klein through Tony Klein, because how could it not be that way? Well, it wasn't that way. The first time I saw Richard Allen, he's like, they kept asking me about, did I know this guy? And I can't remember his name. Richard Woods told us, but I didn't know him. I've never heard of him, never seen him. It's possible that I would know him, but he didn't know him. And so if Richard Allen had known Tony Klein, then this thing would have taken a different direction, but he didn't know Tony Klein. And so I think the reason Richard Allen was there on October 13th was because they brought him in thinking they'd be able to find these connections to the crime scene or to another suspect, and it never happened. And now they're stuck. And that's how you end up with an arrest like this.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like too late. So he's talking right now about the Keegan Klein's angle and trying to say that there is no connection between the Kleins and Richard Allen. And to me, when I hear his interview and when I read between the lines, I can see something totally different. Actually, he's the one giving the scoop about a potential connection between Richard Allen and Tony Klein. Something that a lot of YouTubers are trying to find online, that connection. He's now giving that food to the outside, Andrew Baldwin himself, telling us that Richard Allen and Tony Klein, they were working in the same factory, and that they were, I even don't remember the other thing he said. I was not focused because I was thinking about the next clip. That's the problem when we are showing or doing some streamings here. But my point is, he's just confirming that there is a potential link between Richard Allen and Tony Klein. So great job, Andrew Baldwin. I like Andrew Baldwin, but to me he's just sloppy. He's not helping his client at all. I think he's very stubborn. He has a lot of ego. Even when you see him, he looks like he's a very humble guy, but he has ego. As a lot of us here in this community, we have our ego here, and he's not happy about losing the case when his angle was the Odinism theory. So he wants to push that theory today, knowing that theory is not working. Even if that theory is right, I'm not saying it's not right. Maybe the truth is there. Maybe there were Odinists. I don't believe that, but maybe, let's say. But that strategy is wrong, no one is gonna believe that. Everyone is gonna think about the West Memphis 3, satanic panic. It's the same thing. No one is gonna buy that theory. No one. So now he's talking about an impossible or a potential connection between Tony Klein and Richard Allen that law enforcement, they were not able to prove. In my opinion, is the opposite. And thank you for giving us that information, Andrew. It was a bad move, but it's an interesting information. So now we know that Tony Klein and Richard Allen were working in the same factory. We know that in Peru, they were living right one next to each other, like 200 meters or something like that. So the potential connection is there. In my opinion, is there. And you know my theory. My theory is related to the Wabash River search. I'm just saying that the defense strategy was not smart, was not intelligent, in my opinion. If you're gonna prepare a frank memorandum, prepare that frank memorandum in regards of Ron Logan or Keegan Klein. Don't prepare a frank memorandum in regards of Odinism, because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, never. So I lost my line of thinking here, but again, just to say, I don't want to be fooled by law enforcement, but I don't want to be fooled by the defense as well. Next subject here, and I'm gonna come back to the chat in a couple of minutes, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit excited here. So the next,
Another suspect, and it never happened.
One
And
second.
now they're stuck. And that's how you end up with an arrest like this.
so this is the video that was made by She-Boogs, where we can see a car in the I forgot the name of that, in the camera at 2:07 p.m. This is new information. I think that this video is not receiving the importance that it deserves. This is a bombshell. This is a bombshell. And this could be an exculpatory evidence. I know that we don't know what's the source of this video. I believe it comes from Case by Case, Amy, who is very close to Michael Osbrook. So people that are very close to the defense side, they have this material, and this is just a bombshell. So when people say that Richard Allen is guilty, it's crazy, because we don't know a lot of information like this one. This material is really, really important. And I don't know I'm not saying that the car that is going to be presented here is, I'm not going to say that the driver is the killer or one of the killers, but maybe one of the killers or one of the abductors, one of the kidnappers for real. It's a very important video material. Maybe he's the guy that is delivering milk in that private way. Maybe. I don't think so. But I think that this material deserves a lot of attention here, because this case is just shady. It's just fishy. I don't like the way law enforcement behaved here. It's just makes me mad. And a question for you guys: why was not this video material part of the process? I don't understand that. It's a perfect way to create reasonable doubt. So let's play this video. It's gonna take 1 minute.
What you're watching right now is a vehicle entering Brad Weber's private drive on the date of February 13th, 2017, the day Abby and Libby were kidnapped from Delphi, Indiana. It's shown going to Weber's private drive at 2:07. Takes about less than a minute before it then turns around and comes back out. We don't see what it does past a few seconds once it's entering the drive. I firmly believe that this car is our killer or killers. I believe that they drove through Weber's private drive up to the bottom of the hill, dropped someone off, then turned around and came back out and likely met them somewhere else to pick all of them up to continue the abduction. The vehicle seen is a sedan. It is not Rick Allen's car. This is not Richard Allen. Richard Allen is not the killer of Abby and Libby. What you're watching right now is a vehicle entering Brad Weber's private drive on the date of February 13th, 2017, the day Abby and Libby were kidnapped from Delphi, Indiana. It's shown going to Weber's private drive at 2:07. Takes about less than a minute before it then turns around and comes back out. We don't see what it does past a few seconds once it's entering the drive. I firmly believe that this car is our killer or killers. I believe that they drove through Weber's private drive up to the bottom of the hill, dropped someone off, then turned around and came back out and likely met them somewhere else to pick all of them up to continue the abduction. The vehicle seen is a sedan. It is not Rick Allen's car. This is not Richard Allen. Richard Allen is not the killer of Abby and Libby.
I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Come on. Tell me why this material was not part of the process of Richard Allen. I don't understand that. It's a big, I'm trying to process this material. I'm still processing that. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Why is released now? Was because the defense was so overwhelmed with the amount of material that they had at the time, and maybe they didn't have the resources to go through that video. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. At 2:07 p.m., the exact time where the picture of Abby was taken on the bridge, we have a car passing in front of that camera. It's a perfect timing. It's another fishy, weird timing in this crime. I don't know, guys. I want to see your ideas about that. So I'm gonna go to the chat for a while. Thank you guys for being here. I know that some of you would not agree with my ideas here tonight, but anyways, Shane, Fishy, happy to have you here. I can see that Shane, he started his own channel, so if someone can please share the his channel link, and please go to subscribe to Shane. I really like Shane, and I want to have him here in my channel as a guest. Jamie, how are you? Mar, Gold made it impossible for Richard Allen to have a real defense. I agree, but the defense, they didn't use the best strategy to defend Richard Allen, in my opinion. Let me go here. Trying to look for your comments here. Shane, Cryptex, you and me are the only one Baldwin has not implicated. I don't understand your comment. Tunnel vision is everywhere. Luis Cuevas, tunnel vision is everywhere. Here. Tom Webster, tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, they don't want to know anything about the clients. The clients is a main factor here in this crime. Who else? Fix solves, psychopathic personality, manipulator, a liar, close to law enforcement, tunnel vision. They don't want to know anything about the clients. Tunnel vision. And it's the same in the other side, in the defense side. Rick Snay, he doesn't want to know anything about the clients, anything. It's like the clients, Keegan Klein is the mosquito. No one wants to know about him. Law enforcement, they don't want to talk about Keegan Klein. The defense, they don't want to talk about Keegan Klein. Rick Snay, he doesn't want to talk about Keegan Klein. And I like Rick Snay. Fix Solves, he doesn't want to talk about Keegan Klein. Tom Webster, he doesn't want to talk about Keegan Klein. By the way, I respect a lot Tom Webster. Mad respect to Tom. I disagree with him, but I respect him. Mad respect for True Crime Web, Steve. The fact that some people doesn't think like me, it doesn't mean that they are bad people or that they don't deserve credit. And maybe they're right. I don't know. But I respect Tom Webster and I respect Steve from True Crime Web. I have my... I don't want to talk about that, but anyways. Continuing here. Okay, tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is everywhere. Yeah, you're right, Luis. You're right. Gonna continue here in the chat. Stephen Curry, you're the basketball player from the Golden State, maybe? Andy is stubborn, but knows Rick Allen is innocent. But I agree that Odinism is a dead theory, 100%. And when you are stubborn, and when you have ego, you want to push your narrative, even if you know that you're not gonna go anywhere with that narrative. So stop pushing that is not gonna work. Go to someone making more sense, like the client, like Ron Logan. That's gonna help your client, but the audience is not gonna help him, for real. Let me go here. Don't dox me. I believe they will believe if they understand after FBI is okay to testify. What do you think, guys, about the FBI? So the FBI was pushing the Ron Logan theory, the Ron Logan narrative. To me, Ron Logan is a very viable suspect here, especially when we learn a lot of things recently. Let's say from the R&M channel about the bathroom of Ron Logan being redecorated after the crimes. This is very suspicious. We know that Ron Logan's cell phone was pinging at 2:07 p.m. or 2:09 p.m. Near to the vicinity of the Monon Heights Bridge. So Ron Logan is a very viable suspect here yet. And that was the theory that was being pushed by the FBI. So why Carroll County, why Indiana State Police, they didn't like that angle? I don't understand. Anyway, let's continue here. Lynette, happy to have you here. Janie, a lot of people I don't know is here in the channel. Happy to have you here, guys. Please subscribe. Oh, hey, JSD, Justice Served Daily. Guys, she's a brain. And the next clip I'm gonna show here is from Justice. She was live a couple of minutes ago, let's say, and he was talking about the clients. I really like the way she talks about that angle. She did a lot of research about it, and she's very professional. I don't think you deserve the recognition you should have. So if some moderator can please share Justice Serve Daily's channel description or link, I appreciate that. So, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna play a video you made earlier, Justice. Okay, I'm gonna play the video of Justice Serve the Daily, and I'm gonna come back to the chat, guys.
Anthony Shots photos of that teen model was used by hundreds of other fake profiles. This notation here is a notation that the actual cop who was that teen model had to put on it because they kept getting taken. His photo kept being used, and a bunch of fake profiles were being used similar to his name and what his name was. However, only one used the name Anthony Shots with this image. And that was created by Keegan Klein. Now, Anthony Shots, we know for certain, had already at least come in contact with Libby as early as December of 2016 on Instagram. If you've not watched any of my shows, I would love for you to go watch the one that I did about the Kleins, and it has the timeline and stuff of the Kleins and when things were happened and when the Anthony Shots was created. Keegan Klein had used his own name, Keegan Klein, and Emily Ann 45 for years. The account for Anthony Shots set up on Instagram and Snapchat happened in February of 2016. So by at least as early as December 2016, could be earlier, whatever, but we know by that point, Anthony Shots clicks on and likes this Instagram post that Libby posted. Now, I'm going to bring up, this is going to talk about a little bit about the motive for Anthony Shots. And this was the first link to Anthony Shots 1 week later. Now, I'm going to point out the 1 week later also because it is also on a Monday, which, remember, Keegan Klein talked about that the reason they did, they were doing stuff and his dad was home is because his dad was off on Mondays, Tony Klein. So they communicated with on that day. Anthony Shots responded to friend of Libby who said, I was supposed to meet her that day and she never showed up.
So that's the nexus. He was supposed to meet Libby that day, but she never showed up. So he's putting himself in the crime scene whole area, let's say, at the time of the murders. But according to Judge Gold, there's no nexus.
So Anthony Shots admits that he was out there, but never showed up.
Guys, if you are interested in the Klein's angle, please go to subscribe to Justice. She's just the most professional YouTuber here covering that angle. It's just awesome.
Okay. So this is when Becky Patty learns about the Anthony shots and her response and stuff from it. Now, when I talked about when they checked the phone in 17, in 19, and 2022, that information is in the trial transcripts where Chris Cecil, the head of Internet Crimes Against Children, testified. He's the head of that area. And he said about the year 2022. Well, the other thing we realize that, and if you've seen my videos about this, in April of 2022 was when it came out of the police requesting help for a Yubu app because they knew that Anthony Shots was using that. So why would they come out with another detail and another application unless they didn't find that Anthony Shots was using this Yubo app? And they'll talk about what that is here. So let's see when Becky Patty responds here.
Shows us that maybe they're narrowing things down a little more specific.
Yubo has been dubbed Tinder for teenagers because users can swipe to mark what profiles they like or don't like. People can also live stream and chat with others based on their
No, Veronica. It's the opposite. Okay, I'm gonna come back to your comment after this video.
location. Indiana State Police are asking anyone who communicated with Anthony Shots on the app to contact them.
Should have kept up. I should have known to look. But it surprises me though, because we did talk to the girls about this kind of stuff.
Libby's grandmother, Becky Patty, blames herself since transcripts reveal Libby was communicating with the Anthony Shots account on social media the day she and Abby were killed. Court documents and those transcripts reveal that account was used by Keegan Klein.
100%, Veronica. Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
And possibly his father to solicit images from underage girls.
I'm very angry that grown men would actually even do something like this. They're their kids, little girls. You know, they are preying on their innocence.
Come on, Fishy. You're a professional. You are one of the best here. I know everyone is following Don't Hate Create, but please go follow Fishy if you are not a follower. Open-minded creator, great creator here in this community. We did a couple of shows together. I hope we can collaborate soon because I love the way she thinks.
A special place in hell for those people.
Becky said she and her family are still in disbelief about what those transcripts revealed. She says they had no inkling that Libby was going to meet someone when she asked to go to the trails the last day anyone saw her or Abby Williams in February of 2017. She hopes this serves as a warning to parents everywhere.
The best thing that a parent can do is to talk to their children. You may not be able to monitor them on social media, but you sure can talk to them.
Max Lewis, Fox 59.
Hi, Wata. I get your point, but you cannot ignore the fact that the defense was full Odinism. They were never interested in the Keegan Klein's angle at all. And a lot of people that are pro-defense or pro Richard Allen, they say that Keegan Klein was a patsy. They don't want to know anything about Keegan. It's like, I don't understand that at all. Really, if you want to free Richard Allen, the key element here is Keegan Klein. But a lot of creators in the pro-Allen side, they don't want to know about that. They don't want to talk about that. And I'm like in the middle, which is not a very comfortable position here because I receive arrows from every side. that I'm a child killer supporter. Or other people say the opposite, that I'm a guilter. So I don't understand. I am in the worst position here. I'm not in a comfortable position, but you know that the defense, they were not in the Keegan Klein's angle, which is the most common sense way to protect your client or to defend your client. Seriously. Anyways, let's continue here.
Is
Wow, Max, thank you. It's important to note that neither Kagan Klein nor his father have been charged in the Delphi investigation at this point. But again, anyone who communicated with that Anthony Shout's social media account is urged to call state police. We have photos used by that account on our website. We have them posted at fox59.com.
So, April of 2022, they update everybody and now say Anthony Shots was on the Yubo app. They're trying to find if anybody had communicated with him using that app. Why? Because you can also use it like Skype. You can watch people, live stream. But that app, you could watch people and they could not know that you're in there. I also did want to point this out. Don't forget that Richard Allen says that in the morning of the murders, he went to his mother's house. And he says, my mom's house in Peru and Mexico. Technically, she's had an address in each. And it's right there. Mexico's right next to Peru. But here is, she's inside Peru. But I also wanted to show you this. And Richard Allen worked originally at the Peru, Indiana CVS in 2013 for years before he tried to go through a management program, was working at the Marion one, and then eventually 2016 he asked to go back to Delphi. But I want you to look in this map where the CVS in Peru, Indiana is located. And I want you to see which is up to the left-hand side. And then look at Keegan Klein and Tony Klein's house that they were on Canal Street.
Sorry, I have to stop here. We have Steve from True Crime Web. Mad respect for Steve. He just moved to Florida from Georgia, I think. Right, Steve? I was talking to Steve a couple of days ago. Maybe we're gonna do a show together again soon. He needs some time to set up in Florida. It is gonna be a very interesting show, but because he's working in the Evansdale case, in other cases that are in the interest of this community, and of course his opinions about the Delphi's case, in my opinion, are very, very valuable. Sorry for my Spanish here. And when I was talking about the pro defense creators, maybe the creator that I respect the most here is Steve. He's very humble. He's not ashamed to say he's wrong or to say that there are other possibilities here in this case, even if he's adamant in his theories, as I am, let's say, or as you are, guys, in the chat. In a couple of elements here, he was able to say, I don't know. He's really humble. I really love Steve. Sorry, I had to stop the chat for a while because I'm a fan. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Looking forward for the next show together, and I hope everything is going perfect in Florida. I imagine the heat or the hot there is gonna be crazy. So looking forward for the next show together, Steve.
This is basically like if you did it as the crow flies, you're talking 1,200 feet from the house to there. You're also looking at, that's the bridge where the water search was going on in 2022, which was happening starting in August, right? And then while that's all going on, then we have the September, it's still being searched. And then September, the Kathy finds the oh my God, I can't think of her name. Finds the tip, and she sits here and gives that to the cops. They go looking at him, and so by October we've got Richard Allen arrested. And remember all of the different people who were getting arrested in the times.
So that was sorry, I did a mistake here. So please, guys, go to subscribe to Justice. I'm gonna go back to the chat to see your comments again. Just a quick message here. Please hit the like, smash the like, guys. I really love the energy here in this channel. I know that a lot of you guys, you disagree with my theories, with my ideas, but I think we keep the energy cool in the channel. I try to invite people from different sides. As I was telling you guys, I had Steve, I had Rukus. I love Rukus. His energy is so cool. I love him. I did a live with Tom Webster. So the pro guilty side, let's say, there are good elements. We can disagree, and not everyone here is malicious. There are malicious people in the pro Allen side and in the pro prosecution side, but there are good people in both sides as well. The fact that we have different theories is not a problem, and we are smart enough to see who is a malicious person here and who is not. You know who is working with the prosecution, who was working with Nick. We know that. It's clear as crystal, or crystal clear, whatever. We know that. A dangerous creator working with Nick McClelland. We know who was him. And I'm glad he was not part of this Hulu documentary. Anyways, coming back to the channel here, guys. Just sometimes I become excited here. I think Hannah Shakespeare put his Hulu documentary out to diffuse people digging into the truth. I can agree in some extent to your comment here, Jer. And again, the fact that the Keegan-Klein's angle was not developed enough in that documentary is weird. Veronica, Cryptex, think about this. Klein, Odinism, Ron Logan are all connected, knowing each other. Yeah, I think it's far-fetched, but it's not impossible, let's say. April Nunia. Happy to have you here again, Steve. Let me go here. Hiawatha, how do you not understand that the defense was forbidden by Gould to use Keegan-Klein name in the courtroom? I agree with you, but if they couldn't, they couldn't. I understand your point, but they were never interested. They didn't have any interest in pursuing or in pushing that angle. And you know that. Everyone knows that. Oh, sorry. Everyone knows that here in the community. Come on, Hiawatha. You know that. they were full Odinism. They didn't want to talk about Keegan Klein at all. Well, it's my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. Thomas. Yeah, the interview that was made by Bob Moda yesterday in the Defense Diaries is with Andrew Baldwin is awesome. And again, I respect Baldwin, and he has a very good points. 90% of his points are. I agree with him. I think that Jerry Holman is a bully. He's a liar. He lied during the process on oath, let's say. When Andrew Baldwin was talking about the Purdue professor and the way Jerry Holman was lying under oath, come on, I despise Jerry Holman, really. I despise him. And I understand people that are trusting law enforcement trying to defend Jerry Holman, but come on, this guy is just a dirty piece of shit. And it's my opinion, and that's how I feel. It's just bad. It's just bad. He's a liar. He's a bully. He's a disgrace, like Monica Waller. A disgrace in this whole situation here. Okay. Come on. Have to have a nexus to accuse people. Otherwise, they could use any of us. Exactly. The nexus was there. When you think about Keegan Klein, the nexus is there. The nexus is there. He was supposed to meet Libby the day of the murders at the location of the murders. So are you telling me that there's no nexus there? There is nexus. Are you telling me that Keegan Klein looking for the address of the Marathon gas station on the 13th is something that we have to ignore? Great. Are you telling me that the confession of Keegan Klein at the Grissom Air Force Base is something we have to ignore and there's no nexus there? Come on, guys. The nexus is there when we talk about Keegan Klein. The nexus is there. How can not be a nexus? To me, a negotiation between law enforcement and Keegan Klein is evident. It's evident. It's just common sense. Ron Logan, nexus is there. The nexus is there. So don't tell me there is no nexus when we talk about other actors here. For sure, there's nexus here. There's a nexus here. Yeah, this is awesome. I was not expecting to have JSD here tonight. And yeah, she's here. Yeah, they had a nexus, of course. USA libertarian, never a barbarian. I'm not sure I understand exactly how Gul or Gal kept all exculpatory information out of the trial. Yeah, great point. Oh no, thank you for your research, Justice. I'm a fan, really, for real. Thank you for being here for a minute. Let me see, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't think we can conclude about Bridge Guy height. I don't even know if the video that was released is the original video that was extracted from Libby's phone, or the video is the one that was modified, interpolated, enhanced, I don't have any clue about that. A couple of weeks ago, I had criminality here, and according to criminality, is not the original video. But according to Slutty Goosey, who is Criminality's co-host, let's say, it is the original video, though. So we have the dynamic duo, the in Spanish we say el dúo dinámico, the perfect couple, let's say, Slutty and Criminality, and they don't agree about that. One of them, Criminality, she thinks that the video is not the original one, the extracted one from the Libby's phone. And Slutty Goosey, she thinks the opposite. So I don't know. I don't have that information. So if that video was interpolated or enhanced or manipulated, how do we know if the height of this guy is 5.5, 6, 6.5 feet? I don't have any idea, because the video is gonna be like distorted. You know what I mean? So to me, it's still a question that is not yet answered. I don't have the answer. Maybe you have the answer in the chat. Let me know, because to me it's a mystery. Andy only discussed proven facts yesterday, and it would clear up what a lot of you are talking about. 90% I agree, 90%, but 10% of his speech, I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy everything he says. A lot of stuff he says is it makes sense. The rest, I have to read between the lines. Let me go here in the chat, guys. Okay, guys, I think maybe I'm gonna stop soon. Just to do a quick summary here. Oh, Analyset is here. One of my best or my favorite subscribers. Let me see what she's talking about. It sounds like Judge Gal would require that a person of interest be placed at the trails at the relevant time before there was a nexus. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. So, guys, I'm just gonna stop here tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I agree. I'm very pleased about your presence here. Remember, tomorrow we're gonna have spooky sokoke and low light recovery. We're gonna talk about the Hulu documentary, the behind the scenes, some information that is gonna be like, not gonna say breaking news, but something that is gonna be like, yeah, let's say breaking news. Why not? Please hit the like, subscribe if you're not, and see you tomorrow. Really love you guys. Thank you so much. See ya.